good morning. We're here with another road trip report on our trip to Boston, Massachusetts, with a quick pit stop in New York and Connecticut, Lakeville, Connecticut, to visit with Uncle Bob and Aunt Jane.
Yep, on our way to Connecticut now. We're in Pennsylvania, about to drive through New Jersey.
Yeah, we're about to get from 78 to 287 to 87.
I don't really know where I'm going, I'm just driving.
That's what I'm here for, as his trusty navigator, and driver.
And driver.
And videographer.
I like to bring a camera crew everywhere I go, just in case. Alright, you're fired.
So I ordered a windshield mount for these type of shots. Has not arrived from Hong Kong. Thank you, China. Good for nothing.
Could have paid a couple dollars extra.
I paid extra for the lead. But anyway, so we'll update you as we continue. This is the first moment that we've had daylight enough to actually record something, but looking forward to doing more.
Yep. See you later.
See ya. Hey, how's it going? We're here. We are at Hyde Park. We have arrived.
Just a few minutes ago we pulled in and we are now waiting for our 11 o'clock tour to start.
That's right.
In about 10 minutes.
Yeah, we're very excited about it. We're going to actually see the entire of Roosevelt's Hyde Park home, and we may tour the museum and presidential library as well.
Yep.
See the gravesite where he's buried here on Hyde Park, and then we're off to the Vanderbilt Mansion, which should be awesome.
Just up the road, I think. About 2 miles, is that right?
Even or more or less, yeah. We got all our literature, maps. The one thing that's important to note when you get here, if you buy two, Roosevelt's Hyde Park, Vanderbilt Mansion, you can get one free, whether that's Valkill or Top Cottage.
But we found out that you have to come to Roosevelt's home because it's the most expensive, and so you can't do two cheap ones and the expensive one. You gotta do one expensive, one cheap, and everything else is $8. So.
And you know, it all goes to a good cause, historic preservation, and supports the Park Service, which is very generous in maintaining this place for posterity.
There's free parking and
free parking.
Quaint little town that you can drive through to get here.
Yeah, there looks like some great diners and ice cream shops along the way, so make sure you check those out. We didn't stop, so we can't vouch for their food.
Not yet, but we'll be looking for lunch pretty soon.
Oh,
so
yeah.
If we find something good, we'll let you know.
All right. See you around.
Hello, we are standing outside of Franklin Roosevelt's home in Hyde Park, New York.
Also known as Hyde Park, for those of you who studied World War II history and don't know anything about Roosevelt.
Right.
It was originally built by Roosevelt's father in about 1866-ish. They came to the area a lot earlier than that, around 1800, and they built the first house, which you do not see, but is under there somewhere, in 1866.
That house burned to the ground, and after James's father rebuilt it, the one that you see now, Franklin Roosevelt actually took it over, and in 1915, he and his mother created plans to add extensions to the house. And so you can see the third floor above the first two. The first two were the ones that were pre-existing, and then Franklin and his mother, Sarah, added the third floor and a couple of the wings on either side of the house.
They also, the old structure was a brick structure, and they completely restyled it to be a stucco and stone, both stone being a big element here in New York State. Kind of a Dutch style. They said a lot of Dutch influences in this area and in the architecture. On the inside, it was largely decorated by Roosevelt's mom, Sarah, who paid for a lot of his political exploits and the renovations to the house. It's a late Victorian, a lot of heavy, dark furniture, which is cool. It's very warm, almost like some English castle, you might think. But again, no photos allowed inside.
Sorry about that. We have to give you the verbal update.
Anyway.
Or you could come visit yourself, which is the whole purpose of this blog, is to get you interested.
Yeah, you heard the comments from Paul Leschi, or you will hear them shortly about coming and visiting. I encourage you to follow his advice. Come check it out. Winston Churchill visited here 4 times during World War II. 4 times. That's incredible. The first reigning English monarch ever to visit the United States since the Revolution came in 1939. And that was George and his wife Elizabeth. They came, stayed here, had hot dogs, rode in the car, which we'll talk about later, and we saw their bedrooms. A lot of history here.
A lot of history.
A lot of it. A lot of stucco.
This was Franklin's home away from D.C., so whenever he had time for vacationing away from D.C., he would come here. And even though he was apart, in his bedroom, there are 2 phones on his desk. One is on the desk and one is hung on the wall. The one on the wall is actually a phone that has a line linked directly to Washington.
Yeah.
So while he was here, he was still the President of the United States, and whenever he needed to get in touch with the office back home, he'd just lift up that phone.
So we're going to go see more of the estate, more of the grounds. Check out our Flickr account for more pictures of our visit. And obviously we'll be giving you more videos as we tour around. One other fun thing to note, from the architectural decorating side of things of the inside, you'll see these little glass orbs near windows and doors in every bedroom. Roosevelt had 4 of them. They are not black balls of magic. They're not light bulbs.
They're not light bulbs, which I thought they would be.
They're, let me see if I can get this straight, carbon tetrachloride balls, and they're fire retardants. Roosevelt had a fear of fire. And you throw them.
They're filled with an explosive material, so when the vial breaks open, the inside matter explodes.
Which is supposed to rob the fire of oxygen and put the fire out. Mythbusters apparently proved this. I have not seen that episode.
Apparently.
Check it out, let us know, leave a comment on our blog, and tell us if we're right about that. But we'll update you more shortly. Hey! We are walking away from Hyde Park down the lane that was walked by Roosevelt as a way of exercising how to work with the leg braces. It is a very long lane,
Yes.
and he did it, what did they say, every day as a way of strengthening?
I think he did.
Trying to recover from the polio?
As you know, he did have polio. He was a president. It didn't affect anything but his legs, and so he was able to build up his arms and his upper body. And so he would use crutches, and he'd strap on the little leg braces and walk up and down the lane to try and strengthen his legs.
Check out our Flickr account for pictures of the lane, but it is shady, beautiful. It was the original driveway to the original house, and we're very awed that he would put so much effort into his recovery, and I hope that I would do the same. All right, well, thank you for that.
Cutting out awkward.
And now it's time for Road Trip Report's Tough Question Corner, where we ask the hard-hitting questions that you want to know. This time, under the gun, Roosevelt himself. All right, Roosevelt, here's some tough questions from the folks at Road Trip Report. How do you feel about Social Security being bankrupt by 2020?
We know that you implemented this system, and we'd just like to hear your thoughts on how it's going today.
How do you feel about future generations not getting any of the money that they put in all their lives?
What about my check? When I'm of age and I've retired, what am I going to do?
Oh, what's that? Changing demographics? Difficult economic times? You didn't anticipate that?
This guy, President of the United States.
It's all right. You tried your best.
We appreciate your work, even though you're a Democrat.
Well, as usual, we've gotten no answers to our tough questions, but we will keep pestering, keep bothering, and keep poking to get the answers that you deserve.